Hello everybody, it's Miss Garcia. Welcome to Math City with Miss G. In this video, we are going to talk about applications of trigonometry, particularly angle of elevation and angle of depression. When looking up to an object, the angle of elevation is formed by an observer's line of sight and a horizontal line. So if we are going to focus our attention on this illustration, so we have the angle of elevation that's created out of the line of sight and the horizontal line. So let's use this information to try and answer this word problem. Casey's sight the top of an 84-foot tall lighthouse at an angle of elevation of 58 degrees. If Casey is 6 feet tall, how far is he standing from the base of the lighthouse? Let's draw an illustration so we will have a better understanding what the problem is describing. So Casey is 6 feet tall and there is a lighthouse. So this lighthouse is 84 feet tall. And we have Casey's line of sight. And how far is Casey from the base of the lighthouse? So Casey is 6 feet tall. We're going to take 6 out of 84, so that would make this height. This is not drawn for accuracy, just to illustrate the problem. So we have 84 minus 6, that will be equal to 78. And this angle is 58 degrees. This side is going to be the unknown because that represents how far Casey is from the base of the lighthouse. So we're gonna label the information that we have based off from the angle of elevation. So 78 represents as opposite. This is O, and X represents adjacent. It's a line or a side of a triangle that touches the reference angle, 58 degrees, the angle of elevation. So in this case, we are going to use TOA because we have opposite and adjacent. So we will write tangent 58 equals 78 over x. We're going to write our equation as a proportion. We'll cross multiply. So x times tangent 58 equals 78. 1 times 78 is 78. Dividing both sides by tangent 58 because we want to get x by itself. So this is the same concept as 5 divided by 5, that is equal to 1. In this case, we've got tangent 58 divided by tangent 58, and that is equal to 1. Same concept. So in our calculator, we are going to type 78 divided by tangent 58. And if we were to write our answer in tens place, we will get 48.7 feet. This is how far Casey is from the base of the lighthouse. Let's try another problem. The angle of elevation from a kicker's foot on the football field to the top of the goalpost bars is 17 degrees. If he is standing 131 feet from the base of the goalpost, how tall is the goalpost? So we can draw a diagram to represent the problem. We're given with 17 degrees as the angle of elevation. He is standing 131 from the base of the goalpost. How tall? So this is the unknown, and we're going to represent that as x. We're going to label the given based off from the reference angle, which in this case is the angle of elevation. So we've got x as our opposite to the angle. We have 131 as adjacent. It's a line, it's a side of the triangle that touches the angle of elevation. So we label it as A to represent adjacent. We're going to use TOA because we've got opposite and adjacent. So tangent 17 equals x over 131. Cross multiplying our equation, we will have 1 times x, which is x. 131 times tangent 17. So if we were to write our answer in tenths place, we will get 40.1 feet. Now we are going to talk about angle of depression. So angle of depression is formed by an observer's line of sight and a horizontal line. The angle of depression is congruent to the angle of elevation because they are alternate interior angle. This is an important information to know. So with this illustration, we can draw what this problem, that information is telling us. This angle of depression is exactly the same as this angle right here because they form alternate interior angles. So this will act as parallel lines. So this line right here is parallel to this line, while this line is going to be a transversal line. So we're going to use this information to solve this problem. A lifeguard is sitting on a platform looking down at a swimmer in the water. If the lifeguard's line of sight is 8 feet above the ground and the angle of depression to the swimmer is 18 degrees, how far is the swimmer from the lifeguard? So we can represent this with a diagram that looks like this. So we have the lifeguard that is up on top. He's sitting up there, and this is going to be 8. And this is going to be x, which is the unknown, and this is 18 degrees. And remember, this is going to be somehow an illustration where this angle is going to be equal to this angle because this is also 18 degrees. And as well as this side right here, which is also going to be 8. And so knowing this information, we will have, I'm going to be focusing on this angle. This would represent as my O, opposite, and this one would be my adjacent. So creating my equation, I will have to use TOA because I've got opposite and an adjacent. So tangent 18, which is the angle, equals 8 over x. Divide this by 1. We're gonna cross multiply, so this will be x times tangent 18 equals 1 times 8, which is 8. Divide both sides by tangent 18. So this will be equal to x equals 24.6 feet if we were to round our answer to the nearest tenths. So the swimmer is 24.6 feet away from the lifeguard. Let's try one last problem. By the way, if you are watching this video, if you could please hit subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. That will truly help my channel. Thank you so much. A pilot in a helicopter spots a landing pad below. If the angle of depression is 73 And the horizontal distance to the pad is 1,200 feet. What is the altitude of the helicopter? So we have an illustration. We could draw an illustration that looks like this. So we got 73 degrees, and we're trying to find the altitude, which refers to height, and the distance from the horizontal to the pad is 1,200 feet. And remember, this creates a parallel line, and so this also is going to be 73. And let's label what we've got. We have O, this is adjacent. We're going to use TOA. So tangent 73 equals x over 1,200. We divide both tangent 73 by 1. Cross multiply, we've got x equals 1,200 times tangent 73. And this will give us, if we are to put this in our calculator, we will get 3,925 feet. So the altitude of the helicopter is 3,925 feet. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.